The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.
Exactly. Do exactly what Zach says. And the days are counting down for you to be able to get in for that 3 for $99 special, by the way. If you have not heard of Exist Stretch, let's talk about them for a second. Thanking them for being a big part of the Real Monica Adams Show. Again, some of you have told me about your experience and how you just cannot wait to get back again. Those of you that haven't been, here's the locations. One is in Arnold. Again, it's inside of Exist Fitness. Really cool gym, but the stretch component is inside of there. And then Exist Stretch, St. Louis Hills on Hampton, existstretch.com. You can find them, of course, also on social media at Exist Stretch, and your life will drastically change. Trust me on this. I had a chance to be in there and stretched by the incredible Trisha, as well as Jim getting a chance to get stretched by... actually, Trisha got Jim stretched, and I got stretched by Tim. So you can have either one of them at the Arnold location, and then also Claire and Justin are part of the team as well. So thank you so much. And again, as I mentioned, 3 for $99. Take advantage of that special. It is really going to change your life. Well, welcome into the show. If you're new, I'm your host, Monica Adams. We've got a lot to talk about today. Can we all agree that the one universal language that connects each and every one of us is music? And here's the thing I'd like to know is a lot of you are signing on this morning. Tell me, what is your favorite style of music? For me, I grew up with Motown. My mom and dad were, jitterbug and swing dancers, so I heard a lot of Motown growing up. So Motown is in my soul, but I'm also a big fan of jazz, and we're going to talk a little bit about some jazz outings that a recent community had a chance to go to. So we're going to talk about activities. And for all of us, think about when you are a young kid and your parents get you involved in summer camp, right? Or you're at school, and some of us have to think way back to grade school and to high school years and think about the outings that we were taking on, all right? The field trips that we go to. Tell me, what did that do to you, right? Mentally, spiritually, physically, you're moving around, you're doing activities. If we don't have activities in our lives, just think of how it will affect us. And that has to be something that we remember, whether you are currently caring for your mom and dad or your grandma and grandpa, or you make that decision that someone else has to care for them. If we don't have activities and they just sit there and they're alone and there's nobody talking with them, or it's just here and there, what do you think that does to somebody, right? So good morning for all of you that are just signing on. Linda, good morning. Kathleen, good morning. Julie, good morning to you. 70s and 80s rock. Okay, Linda. Everybody else, tell me, what feeds your soul? And as we do that, let me thank each and every one of the incredible sponsors that play a role in this show this morning. And we like for you to share the show with your friends, your family, so that others know about these fun little topics that we get a chance to talk about. And that's another thing I want to know. So what I used to do when I first started the show, and we're going to get into some weather and some news you can use, and then we are going to feature our wonderful Garden View activities director coming up in just a second. I used to always light a candle for you, right? We haven't done that in a while, and it reminded me of the merchandise that we have had on the show for the last, couple of years. I'm wearing one of them today, and the reason why I did that is because I had a woman that purchased, I completely forgot that I had the merchandise on my website. She purchased this shirt, this beaming blue shirt. And so I'm going to be sending that out to her today. But I had 2 pieces of merchandise from our past. Of course, all of us that already bought those. But did you know that I have 2 left, okay, and I've discounted these down for those of you that have guys in your life, or hey, you know what, I shouldn't even say that because there's a lot of women that love guys' jackets. So this is a quarter zip. I don't know if you ever saw this, the MA Sport. Really cool, silky, satiny feel. I have 2 of these left, by the way, and then we are going to be rolling out new merchandise. This one's a large, and then, let's see, this one might be a large as well, or it could be an extra large. Let me check. It is an extra large. So I have a large and an extra large. Write me if you're interested, and I can get these out. I got them at a discounted price. They used to be, I think, $89.99. But if they're not discounted on my site already, I will. Some of you want to still know what merchandise is available. The candles, the Be Kind candles, and then we've got Know Your Value. So Know Your Value and Be Kind, 2 things that we are known for on this show. The Be Kind candles, if you didn't get yours yet, we have the one for Christmas, and then we have the Embers at the Cottage, and then I'm going to be picking a new summer scent, and maybe it'll be a little citrusy. This is citrus agave, and it's giving me, nope, this wouldn't be my signature scent. We're looking for something for as we get into summer and early fall. So I'll be talking about that for you. I don't know if you know about the book. It's about time. This is a collaboration of some really powerful and pivotal moments in about 35 women's lives. And I am involved in this. Pivotal moments, powerful voices, unforgettable truths. I just got a new batch in. I think I've got about 20 to 25. So if you're interested in a great book, you want to sit out on a beautiful summer day or be by the poolside and you're looking for a new book, I'm always big on reading about 10 pages a day in a book and filling the soul, because again, we're talking about how we fill the soul mentally, physically, spiritually. This kind of an activity is also a good one. Getting a book read, maybe having some music while you're reading a book. So if you don't know about these, I wanted to make sure I brought them back up. And then I'd love to know, as we're making these decisions, what would you like in new merchandise? Because I reached out to the lady, this came up the other day, of Monica, what happened to the merchandise? So I believe there were, at the end of 2025 into 2026, they just got slammed with a bunch of stuff, the lady that I'm working with. And so I reached out to her yesterday and I said, hey, we got to get this back on the books. There would be some really exciting new things that we talked about. We've had a couple of meetings, pretty long meetings, to discuss what I think each and every one of you would like, since you're diehards of this show and you know how important it is to know your value, you know how important it is to be kind. That's going to be all over the merchandise, but it's some new fun things and maybe some things we haven't thought about. So let me know. Obviously, journals are still out there. I know that's a big part of what a lot of people had said. New candles, and yes, finally finishing the book that I've been writing. So it would be a specific book. This is a chapter inside of It's About Time, but we would be rolling out the book itself. So what would you like to see in merchandise? What would you like to be a part of? Let me know that. Okay, how about weather? Did you all have that rockin' and rollin' last night? Did you have any severe weather? Do you have any damage? If you do, let me know that. It's going to be much better today. We're not seeing all of that, but could have some spotty showers. A high of 80 down to 62 tonight. Tomorrow is a holiday, Juneteenth, 84, beautiful sunny and maybe partly sunny skies. 67 for a low. Now, Saturday did have some rain in the forecast. Looks like it's been taken out. 87 on Saturday. Sunday, unfortunately, I was wishing that would be pushed out. That is Father's Day. 79 and rain and storms, unfortunately, are expected, but don't let that cancel your plans. Monday, a 30% chance of an AM shower with a high of 79. And look at the Cardinals are in action from Monday through Saturday of next week. For Tuesday through Saturday, we're expecting the highs in the low to mid 80s and then just slight chances of rain. Again, too far out right now for next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so things could change there. That's a look at the forecast. Tomorrow, we will be visiting with Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist, and he's going to tell us about his trip to Fenton Family Dentistry. They are a part of our show, and he got a chance to experience them firsthand. They are a sponsor of his What the Weather segment. I understand that he had an amazing time. He said Dr. Jessica was incredible, and he had a chance to meet Augie, but I don't want to spoil it. He'll tell us all about his experience tomorrow. Okay, in some news you can use, Tropical Storm Arthur is weakening, but it still poses a flash flooding threat. So for those of you that could be traveling or you have family in other areas, listen up. This could affect you. Arthur formed off the Gulf Coast of Texas, and it became the first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season before being downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. The storm developed near the middle of the Texas coast, less than 50 miles from Port O'Connor. It was centered about 35 miles northeast of Galveston, Texas, 85 miles west-southwest of Lake Charles, Texas, late Wednesday night, and it was traveling northeast at 9 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, below the 39 mile per hour threshold for classification as a tropical storm. But of course, the flooding is the issue that we are talking about. The winds were always far below the 74 mile per hour needed for hurricane status. Forecasters are predicting that Arthur's remnants would move farther inland over southeastern Texas and western Louisiana and then cross the southeastern United States today through Friday. And again, although it is weakening, it is expected as the system moves inland, the remnants of Arthur will continue to produce widespread heavy rains across the southeastern United States during the next few days. So again, check on your friends and your family that could be living in those areas. Again, that's that kindness, just to make sure that they're doing okay. So we do the news you can use, and it is sometimes local, regional, national, international. This one has a local component to it. You remember we talked earlier this week about that massive sinkhole. Any of you heading downtown, and I will be over the weekend, so trying to figure out if I'm going to have to reroute myself. I also was really worried about the businesses as crews continue to work on fixing that massive sinkhole. It's causing problems for plenty of commuters and businesses in that area to have to deal with less pedestrian traffic. They're urging customers to take extra time to get down into Laclede's Landing. So as the crews continue to dig, soon they'll hand off the reins to MSD so they can work on the sewer. Interstate 44 and 70 in and around downtown remain closed out of abundance of caution. And as far as the 44 corridor, that separates downtown from the Arch grounds and the riverfront. It could help avoid sinkhole problems in the future. The sinkhole and the traffic come as the Gateway Arch Foundation and other stakeholders are studying potentially capping the interstate in certain spots downtown, putting the interstate underground. I'm not sure if you knew about that. It would also potentially make it easier for pedestrians to access Laclede's Landing in the future. Now, exactly when the interstates will reopen is unclear at this point, but city officials say ideally they'll wrap it up by the end of this coming weekend. So if you have plans heading into downtown and you didn't know about this massive sinkhole, I'd highly recommend that you check with MoDOT, online, or look at your Google Maps. I will be calling the business that I'm going to directly to see if I need to reroute myself. Just the main thing is to plan ahead. All right, Linda, I know you're going to want to know about this story and anybody else that has alpha-gal. This is on the rise, and we used to talk a lot about Lyme disease, but now health officials are trying to raise awareness of a lesser-known problem, a life-threatening allergy to meat triggered by tick bites. And we just had this in the news just a couple of days ago, but I feel that this is interesting. The problem, again, known as alpha-gal, was first linked to a particular species of ticks about 15 years ago, but cases are on the rise as more people report symptoms like hives, itchiness, diarrhea after eating as little as a mouthful of meat. And in some cases, we're talking about dairy now. The allergy doesn't impact consumption of seafood or poultry. So chicken, turkey, eggs, that's all okay to eat. For years, the standard treatment has involved avoiding foods that come from cows and pigs and lambs while carrying an epinephrine injector in case of a medical emergency. But now regulators recently approved the first drug for the condition, and more therapies may be on the way. So this is good news. Here's what to know. Unlike other tick-borne illnesses like Rocky Mountain spotted fever, alpha-gal isn't caused by a bacteria or a virus. Instead, it occurs when the human immune system triggers an allergic response to a type of sugar, which is known as alpha-gal, and it's found in the meat of most mammals, but not in humans or other primates. It's also found in the saliva of certain ticks. And then when eaten, the sugar is normally harmless, but when ticks bite through the skin, they can introduce that sugar directly into the bloodstream. And I know a lot of people have been a little confused about what it is. Why are more people being diagnosed, though? Experts point to increased awareness among health professionals and the public. So it may have already existed, folks. And now they're realizing that some of the things they may have misdiagnosed are actually linked to this. Researchers are worrying that other types of ticks, including black-legged ticks, may also increasingly spread the condition. When should you get tested? People usually seek medical attention after experiencing the worst of the symptoms. Again, some of the difficulty of breathing, swelling of the lips or throat or tongue or eyelids. Some people may only experience digestive issues, stomach pain, again, vomiting. So there are many things that are off limits. So doctors generally advise patients to avoid beef and pork, lamb, and other meats from mammals. Some people, though, are still able to consume dairy products from these animals, like milk and cheese and butter. Those with particularly severe reactions may need to avoid foods made with other animal byproducts, such as gelatin, which is found in marshmallows and gummy bears. One rare exception, meat from a small number of pigs that have been genetically modified to not produce alpha-gal. So how long does it last? It can fade away in some after several years. However, in 15 to 20% of their patients, they see that it's long-lasting. It's critical to avoid new tick bites, obviously. So what treatments are available? The FDA approved an injectable drug for a variety of food allergies, including alpha-gal. The drug doesn't reverse the condition, it just helps reduce the severe allergic reactions. However, researchers are hoping to study other previously approved drugs as new options for patients. So this is all good news of what is on the horizon. And again, I don't wish this on anyone. My friend was first diagnosed with it. We had a feature on that a couple of years ago, and she's doing better with it, but she told me right away, Monica, she's like, this is the craziest thing. She's always out hiking. And so it's important to put DEET all over you, again, just to protect yourself, to try not to get the tick bite in the first place. Let's do a little thing here also to say it's important to take care of your animals. Make sure that they're on preventative, because you do not want these type of problems to be causing issues for us or for our animals. But yeah, when she first told me about it, she was like, I can't have anything with a hoof. And I'm like, what? And so it was very new in my mind just a couple of years ago. Now, to folks, we're seeing it left and right. All right, we're going to look at comments here in just a second. Let me tell you about a couple of people that unfortunately are no longer with us. If you're a fan of the band Chicago, and who isn't, the founding member of the band has passed away, Walter Parazater. According to Deadline, he died of complications from Alzheimer's while in hospice care. He died yesterday morning, actually. He was 81, diagnosed with the disease 6 years ago. And then if you are a fan of Lilo and Stitch or The Ring, Davy Chase also passed away at a very young age, died at the age of 35. The actress's boyfriend told TMZ she died Tuesday after battling meningitis and an infection in her blood that led to septic issues. Oh my God, that's horrible. So young. So rest in peace to both of them. All right, sports news. Our Cardinals, unfortunately, losing to the Padres 6-1. It's the Cards and the Royals in Kansas City. That game is at 6:40 this evening. National Day of calendar. Go fishing. Oh, this is a good day to go fishing, right? Oh, I like this. National Splurge Day. You know, I love to do my shopping. National Want to Get Away. Yes, a lot of you are maybe taking those trips as we get ready to kick off summer. You might find some good, hopefully, some good airfare prices. National Dump the Pump Day. Okay, maybe ride your bike or walk more or go for a jog. So you're not supposed to get in the car today, I guess. International Sushi Day. Okay, so I wanted to look at the global observances. You know that as soon as I saw that, I started thinking, where can I go for sushi? I love good sushi. International Picnic Day, and I was just telling Jim, one of my favorite things to do is a picnic before the Muni, and Sustainable Gastronomy Day. So if you haven't been to the Muni, by the way, Hairspray is playing this week, and then Shrek is on tap for next week, and then they go into South Pacific. They've got Meet Me in St. Louis. They've got the Temptations. I mean, it's going to be a huge summer at the Muni. So if you saw my reel, we just went the other night to see Hairspray. So again, like I said, that's playing this week, so take advantage of that. All right, let's go to the comment section and see what you're all up to today. Good morning to all of you, if I haven't said good morning yet. Pete, good morning. Julie said she likes classic rock. I was asking about what your favorite music is. Honeydew is a great summer scent. Oh, I like that. Yeah, we're talking about what should we have as our new candle. Could you post the link to merch page? Well, I can, but as I mentioned, we are changing things out. So there's only, the easiest is just, Pete, go to therealmonicaadams.com and then just click on shop. There's 2 jackets that are there that you can purchase, a large and an extra large. If you're just tuning in and you didn't see it, I say guys, and I have to stop saying that. Just like I have to stop saying that only men drink bourbon and only men smoke cigars. I caught myself on that and I shouldn't. So yes, it is a quarter zip and it's the MA Sport. And then the women's, we have to get new ones because those are all sold out. So large and an extra large are left. It's About Time book. You have to direct message me. This is not on the website. Direct message me for this and we can get them out. There are paperback and then there are hardbound covers as well. Sean, good morning. Karen, good morning. Debbie, let's see. Debbie is tagging Bridget Clayman. Just tagged my friend that has alpha-gal. It's such a struggle for her. I pray this drug works for her. I know, Debbie, right? The Pioneer Woman's son-in-law was just diagnosed with this. Stephanie says that's scary. Linda, it is an awful allergy, and she unfortunately knows firsthand. And when we talk about when people are diagnosed with something like that, and it's frustrating, right? You try to figure out what information is out there, especially when it's something new. And I just mentioned doctors may have misdiagnosed it for a long time. She said it's an awful allergy. I do not go outside without protection. right? She can be a leader in that for us. And outside is my therapy, so it's extremely hard for me since I live in the woods. Rose said I pulled 2 ticks off me. It's always scary when I see those. 2 weeks ago, Jim had a bunch of seed ticks that he kept saying, do I have any more? Do I have any more? It still itches. You can put stuff on and they still get you. Protect yourself. Yes. Good morning, Richard. We know how much mental, physical, spiritual health is important. That's what we're going to talk about today. So when I'm home with you, and I love to bring you into our house, by the way. Thank you for bringing me into your home for so many years in TV and radio. I like to do that because it's very authentic and very real, and we get a chance to talk about topics and guests that you would like to have on the show. Who are they, by the way? Is there anybody you would like for us to reach out to? Is there anybody that you think has an incredible story? If so, my email address is right here on the bottom of the screen. Reach out at info@therealmonicaadams.com. Guest topics, and as we said, mobile Monica ideas. Stephanie, by the way, I'm excited. Stephanie has some money coming her way. Yes, I always say, if somebody books a show, whether it's a business spotlight or it is a mobile Monica, and if you're not familiar with those, it's when we bring the show on the road, and we've got a couple coming up that I'm going to tell you about and some others that are in the works. I gift you $100. Yes, $100 coming to Stephanie because she introduced me to Eve's Restoration Home, and they are coming on in July. So Stephanie, thank you so much for having the connection and then having the meeting, and now we're going to showcase them coming up in July. We're going to actually be showcasing a lot of really cool things as we get into July, and that includes some things that I want you to come to. If you haven't heard us talk about the porch in Wildwood, that is where we will be July 14th at noon. How many of you are coming along? How many of you have already saved the date? If you haven't and you haven't heard us talk about this, this is the inside look of the porch. Again, the custom side of it, the interior decorating aspect of it, the beautiful pieces that you can bring into your home or your office. And so I'm just taking you on a guided tour until you can come in person. Maybe you've driven by and you didn't know what the porch was all about. Again, it's everything to really beautify, change things up. You know, there's some people that do this and they're so great at it. And others, we sit there and go, no, we need some help. They even have 3 silos, which is my favorite, vinegar and olive oil. They have throws, they have pillows, they have furniture for you. Then it gets into my favorite, fashion. They have got beautiful jewelry. They have some really cool purses. And how many of you know a purse that has a lifelong guarantee? Well, they've got those there. I'll let you know more. ThePorchWildwood.com, located at 16957 Manchester Road in Wildwood. June 30th, we'll find out more about Jan Kaufman and Nicole Little, the designers that are at the porch. And then July 14th, again, at noon, we will be there. The very next week, we will be visiting with Monica Spittler with Coconut Grove in Washington, Missouri. And they have an incredible story. She really does, of what she's overcome. And I love these human interest pieces. Before we go and get a chance to see how gorgeous the resort style clothes, furniture, women, men's, all the stuff to make us feel like we're on vacation regularly, coconutgboutique.com. Go to that website, check them out. She's going to be on with us on July 21st. And again, overcoming. It's so easy when we're talking today about mental, physical, spiritual health. It's so easy to feel off and alone and isolated and take ourselves down a path that doesn't serve us, right? It's very easy to do. She could have been that way, but instead that woman has the biggest smile on her face and just completely changed her life around. And then she finds the passion to open up Coconut Grove Boutique. And again, cannot wait to have you experience it. So we're going to talk about music today. Let's see. Jenny, good morning. Let's see. Clarissa says, good morning, sweet lady. Love you. Love you as well. Linda says, I've only been bitten by the seed tick. Those little boogers did me in. Yeah, they itch so bad, don't they? Stephanie, you're a sweetheart. Linda, you do not necessarily show symptoms immediately after a bite. It can take a couple of weeks to even months. I didn't start having reactions until 5 months later. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, right? Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about music. Linda said, what do you use? Oh, for protection, probably. When we come back, we are going to have a feature for you. And we just taped this the other day about music, about activities, about field trips. And then I'll come back and wrap up the show with you live. So Thank you all right now for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. And when we think about what do we need to do, that one extra step to help those that we love in our lives, especially the older education or the older generation, and how we educate and how we know the importance of mind, body, spirit. That's all the things that we're going to talk about today from an activity standpoint, and a really cool field trip that just took place at Jazz at the Bistro. That's coming up next.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. Hope you're having a great morning. We're thrilled to have you along with us. Remember to share our shows all over your platform so more and more people can see the inspiration and the hope and the positivity that we wake you up to. You know, I've been talking about Garden View Care Centers, and they have 3 locations in our area, Doherty Ferry and O'Fallon and Chesterfield, over the last couple of months. And I love all the different testimonials from people that have said, oh, my mom and dad were there, my grandma and grandpa were there, they're there now, and we love so many aspects, including the activities. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Marissa Rivet is my guest. She is the activities director at the location in Chesterfield. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much, Monica. I'm so happy to be here today.
Well, you were at the location where Mama Jackie was, and a lot of you know about that over the last 6 months ago. So you didn't get a chance to meet her because you've been there 2 months, right?
Yes, just a little over 2 months now.
And what brought you to Garden View?
You know, just a passion for, I think, just senior living in general. And I have such a love for them, my own grandparents and those experiences. And I knew I had so much love to give. And what better place than to get into their activities and really help enrich the lives of our senior community.
And I got to tell you, Marissa, that is something I say over and over and over again. It truly is someone special that works in with those demographics, right? And it's not just anybody that can. You have to have that love. You have to have that calling. You have to feel that connection and have that passion. And when you have that, it's magic. And the way we see you interact, because all we ever really want is that someone treats our loved ones the way we would.
Absolutely.
And I know it can be scary. We've talked about this in the past. Please erase your mindset of what a nursing home is or assisted living, whatever you thought decades ago. It's not the case.
Not at all. It's such a place of love and laughter and community. And I think that's what comes through, especially with our activities. And there's a common misconception that, you know, we're just kind of filling time or they're just kind of going about the day. But it's just, we are creating a bit of magic for them. And it's their home. So we come in there, we treat it as such, and we are so gracious that they welcome us in there and we get to be a part of all of that with them. So activities is so much more, and again, so life enriching for them. So.
Well, and I will tell you, when my mom was there, I was talking to a lot of the different nurses, and one of them said, I have to tell you, I've worked in other places. One of the things that truly stands out, there's my mom. One of the things that truly stands out is the activities. And I said, oh, compared to, and she goes, well, the other place I work at. And then she actually works at both. She goes, I come over here, and I'm telling you right now, the activities are so much better. And I said, in what way? So I'll ask you that. What do you think makes Garden View's activities stand out amongst the rest?
So I would say for us, we are with them from the start of their day. So they wake up in the morning and we're there until they're getting ready for dinner and bedtime. And so we immerse ourselves in every aspect of their lives. And I think what we choose to do, try to take an approach of like person-centered care. So it's not just about having our residents fit the mold of each activity, but having our activities fit the mold of them. And so everything is kind of like fine-tuned and catered to each individual person. And I think that's where we really stand out. It's not just, oh, here we're going to do this next activity. We might get a few folks in there. It's like, I know so-and-so loves to do this. Let's try to pull in more of their creative their creative, sorry, I apologize.
No, not at all. So the mindset of the creativity is not just for one or a few, it's many.
Exactly.
And then they'll end up telling their friends and, family members, oh my gosh, we got a chance to do this today. And then if they see them in the dining room, hey, how come you weren't there? You're going to want to come to this.
Exactly. So kind of finding their passions, and you kind of learn that by building that trust and relationship with them. So you learn that maybe somebody loved to garden, and so we started a gardening club and got some ladies in there, and it got other people talking, like you said, at the dining table or kind of just in passing, and they're like, oh my gosh, I used to love gardening. I miss that. And over time, our gardening club has expanded, and we're making salsas this year. So it's just, you really see people open up and kind of redevelop and refine those passions they had prior to coming under our care.
Yeah, we're taking a look at that picture. I remember talking about this from the very beginning. I would see some of the videos that were shot in the past, and I was like, is that a garden? And they were like, yes, we have a garden. I said, I bet you that's huge. Because Marissa, you nailed it. When people talk about what they did when they owned a home, a lot of times women and men both. Men love to have a beautiful lawn, right? Yes. Women love to get down and garden. I'm not going to say that men don't also, but we just typically think women always love to do their flowers, and they miss that.
Absolutely.
It gave them a sense of purpose.
Yes, and I think that is such a big goal for us, is to continue letting them find that purpose and joy that they had in life. It's not coming to our facility is not an end for them. It's a brand new beginning, and that's where we come in and we learn about them, your hobbies, your interests, who you were before, and so that we can best plan the most excellent activity and robust activity plan for you.
That is so powerful what you just said. Again, if you're just tuning in, Marissa Rivet, Activities Director at the Chesterfield location of Garden View. GardenViewCares.com is where you can find out more about them. And if you're just hearing about Garden View, or maybe you've heard other people say that they had a family member or a friend there, it's an opportunity for you to come and take a tour. Again, Chesterfield is where Marissa is. They also have O'Fallon, Missouri, and then the one in the Doherty Ferry area, GardenViewCares.com. And that is the biggest thing that I think I want that message to get across. When someone can, for whatever the reason is, no longer live in their home, and then they say, okay, this is where we're going to be. It is not to think, all right, well, now I'm just going to stay in my room. Now I'm not going to do anything, and I've lost my sense of purpose. Your whole job and everyone that you work with is to make them understand, no, you're alive, and let's let you live that best life with us.
For sure. So our team, too, does such an incredible job of really getting to know them and easing them. And I try to tell them as well, we got to meet them where they're at in that moment. So when we get new people in, or maybe somebody's just having an off day, you kind of can still encourage, but let them feel that, let them do what they need. And again, just meet them where they're at. As you kind of build that trust and relationship with them, you'll kind of learn when people need that little bit of time to kind of take a step back. But over time, we have seen such an increase in people coming and being a part of them. And I think it is because we take a fine touch care with them and let them know, we're learning about you, and we want this to be all about you. This is your home. This is your place to be. And you
listen to them. You listen to hear them say, hey, we would really like to do this. I mean, I think of anybody in whatever field you're in, you've got to listen to your audience.
Yes.
Otherwise, no one's going to show up, right?
Exactly.
And you don't want just crickets, an empty room. When my mom was there, I was like, oh, you can go get your nails done. Oh, you're going to go get your hair done. Oh, they've got this event. My mom was thrilled that they had rosary, right? And then activities and events and working out and community. That's the greatest thing that you're seeing in all of this is friendships that are formed and that you never feel alone. I mean, these are lifelong friendships that are going to happen between the residents and also between the faculty, which I think is huge as well. Again, Marissa Rivet is my guest. We're going to take a break. When we come back, you just went to Jazz at the Bistro.
Yes, we did.
Which, by the way, if you haven't been, you're missing out. It is the coolest place. I saw Jeremy Davenport there during Katrina. He really kind of says that St. Louis is his home. It was his second home because he was displaced and then came to St. Louis, and he used to play at Jazz at the Bistro. So good. So I can't wait to hear about that. I hate that I missed it, but wonderful place. We're going to see what the residents thought about that and then other great activities that they have. Again, Marissa Rivet with the Chesterfield location of Garden View Care Centers. We'll have more when we return.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. Thank you again so much for joining us this morning. If you are just tuning in, Marissa Rivet is my guest, the activities director at Garden View Care Center in Chesterfield, Missouri. She's been there the last couple of months. Before we get into your experience with Jazz at the Bistro, in just a couple of sentences, what can you tell me that fulfills your heart in what you have been doing for the last few months?
I would say just the interactions daily that I get with the residents. Prior to coming on at Garden View, the one thing I wanted when transitioning into kind of the senior living care was to find something that truly filled my cup up. And I don't think up until this position I have found my cup was ever as overfilled as it is now. And it's just the one-on-one interactions I get with them, learning about them, and getting to just be a part of their lives is such an honor and something that I'm grateful for every day that I walk in that building.
And it's probably because, first of all, you just have this aura about you where you can truly tell you're walking in your purpose.
Thank you.
And I'm sure they see that and they appreciate that. They can see kindness in you. They can see that you love working with them. And there's respect from both sides.
Yes,
and
definitely.
patience and listening. How important that all is. Okay, so you just recently went to Jazz at the Bistro. We're going to look at some pictures and some video from that. So tell me, first of all, as far as people listening this morning and watching this morning about activities, do you get a chance to do these kind of field trips often?
We do. So in the past, prior to doing Jazz at the Bistro, we have taken them to look at holiday lights, get hot chocolate, things like that. We've gone to baseball games and taken them in nice private suites and let them kind of get that nice 5-star experience watching the Cardinals play, even down to more simpler activities where we'll take a bus out and get to go and just look at the seasons changing. You know, you kind of the things you might take for granted in your day-to-day life is something that's so meaningful for them to see, you know, those beautiful trees changing colors or the flowers begin to blossom in spring. So it's not just like the big grand gestures and outings we get to do. It's simple things like that that really redefine purpose for them.
You just brought back a memory. Steve Newman, who owns 360 Transport, who I know works hand in hand with you all, he said that they will do in that 20-minute drive. He always tells all of his employees the importance of that drive when you're coming back. Instead of taking the typical highway back, go maybe through a park or ask them where they lived and go back by their neighborhood and just bring those memories back because it's that extra little touch that they remember.
Which is so, it's funny that you say that because we had our driver, I'm not sure if it's from that transport, but he did the same thing and kind of took them through Slough and down by Fox. And it's neat to see. We had a couple of residents who were on there and they're like, I went to Slough. I went there. I got my medical degree there.
Oh, wow.
Like I used to walk these streets down here. Me and a loved one used to go to the Fox Theater all the time. I loved that. And it's just like you see those sparks of like them kind of reminiscing on wonderful moments in their time. And it's neat to think that they take that little extra step to just kind of bring that back for them. So
it's the little things that matter. Sometimes we're rushing around in life too much and we have to slow the pace down to understand that a drive by an old memory brings back so much and warms that heart, right?
Exactly.
Okay, well, so does music. And music is that universal language that connects all of us. So tell us about this experience at Jazz at the Bistro.
So Jazz at the Bistro, we all three of our facilities got to go to this. We all came together, arrived, and we were able to listen to this beautiful live jazz performance. It was super intimate too, so a smaller group, but they also made the whole Jazz at the Bistro feel like it was like an intimate performance just for our residents. They got a wonderful meal. We got this delicious creme brulee. But just watching them enjoy the music alone was just, it was magical to see it. And a little special tidbit, one of our residents from Chesterfield, through this experience, we learned that he had actually played at Jazz at the Bistro many years ago.
Oh, wow.
And was always a part of the musicians union and played percussion most most of his life. So it was just neat that just on that drive and him knowing he was being a part of that, he just opened up, and he was the one I felt like I kept my eyes on the most during this whole performance, because it was just beautiful to see. He was keeping to the beat, and just you could see him feeling the music. And for me, I'm like, that's just the reminder of why we do what we do and why these outings are so important for our people.
Yeah, you sit there, and well, obviously we all love to gather around food, good food,
Yes.
but then the music starts and it's a whole nother level. Our bellies are happy. Now we're ready to listen and receive the artistry and the talent of these incredible musicians. So I saw some of these. Did you have a singer? Did you had somebody that was playing the drums? I saw that.
We did have somebody playing the drums. We had somebody, I believe, like it would be bass on a cello, somebody on piano, and then the beautiful singer. And I mean, she was doing, everything is kind of performative and scat. So like they don't necessarily follow. She'll start and every musician follows suit with her. So it's just a really incredible thing to witness and them all come together. So
had you been there before?
I had been there one time before, many years ago, on more of a larger setting. So to see it like this, again, the like intimacy of it was something super special.
Right. So. And then you're brought back and you remember like, oh yeah, I love this place. But then to be there and know that you're providing this in a different way, like instead of just going socially.
Exactly.
And you understand that this is a job, but it's really that passion that you have. And it's like I said before, you're walking in your purpose, and you get a chance to watch through others' eyes, hear through others' ears, right? And understand. But it's also like we look back at generations and we should listen to music from yesteryear and then hopefully allow them to understand some of the music. Some of it they'll be like, that doesn't even make any sense. I don't want any of that. But they might hear similar things. I used to always love through my mom. I would go, oh, Mom, I want you to hear this new song. And then she'd laugh and go, honey, that's from a long time ago. It's just redone, right? We just don't know these things. That's the beauty of talking and getting them to communicate. So did you see a lot of tapping of the feet?
Yes, and people playing their little drums on the table and just kind of the movement and swaying. But like, it was a full body experience for them. They were feeling the music, enjoying that good food. It hit every sense for them. And that was really fun to see.
So I imagine it's always fun to be in a car or a bus or whatever, going there, anticipation, and then coming back and continuing the love of what you just experienced. Probably were they singing on the bus on the way back?
We had a lot of movement, not necessarily singing, but a lot of movement, and people just an open discussion. Like maybe residents that don't always kind of get the time to talk with one another, they might have different interests when we're in the facility. Seeing them mingle, it was really neat, and discuss commonality that they found just based on the music that they listened to and the food that they ate. So
did you talk with them afterwards and say, what did you enjoy most about today?
And for them, it was getting out and the music. I think we have a wonderful chef back at our Garden View facility. So I think they love the food, but I think it was getting out and kind of reminiscing on their times when they would have maybe more outings in life, but also just feeling that music. And it felt like a one-on-one performance for them. And that was something that a few of them had kind of reiterated. It felt like they were playing just for me. Oh. And it's like that's why we do it. That's Absolutely. Why we do it.
And one more time, Jazz at the Bistro, if you have not been, it's right there by the fabulous Fox Theater. And I think a lot of you forget that it's there. If you love jazz music, you love good food, and you like a really cool, intimate venue, that's the place for you. I'm so glad that you all had a chance to experience that together. So we're going to take another break. When we come back, I want to ask Marissa, since she's new, and I love the fact when you have people that work somewhere for a long time, then you have somebody else that come in, it's always fresh new ideas, blended with ideas that have worked for a long time. But I'd love to hear, coming to the table, what you all talk about of other ideas that you have that maybe you want to bring forward, and other exciting things. We've been there filming TikToks, by the way. Let's talk about that. We'll have more with Marissa Rivet when we return. Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. Once again, we are on multiple platforms, so be sure to tell your family and friends. If they don't want to be on social media, tell them to find the show on YouTube. There's all the platforms we're on: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Rumble, and Twitch. And if there's a platform we're not on that you would like for us to be on, please let me know. You can find us on my website as well, therealmonicaadams.com, or tell them to just search for The Real Monica Adams Show, and then share that. Again, some really cool things that we're able to do together. Today, we're focusing on the activity side of Garden View Care Centers. Again, 3 different locations: Chesterfield, which is where Marissa Rivet works, and then also O'Fallon, Missouri, and Doherty Ferry, gardenviewcares.com. And you can feel the care that Marissa has. So when you come to the table and you talk about this activity works, this one we better never take away because they love this. What are those? What are the ones that they love the most?
So I'd say any bit of live music. So that's why Jazz at the Bistro was so special. But also we do something called Vitality in Motion. And it is a company that comes in every Wednesday, and it is like ballet inspired fitness. Oh. And kind of like we touched on, like meeting residents where they're at, they do such an incredible job. So whether somebody is ambulatory and can walk, or if somebody is in a wheelchair, whatever level they are at, Vitality in Motion meets them, and you see residents from all types that come in and want to be a part of this. So it's neat. They play nice music. They're moving. They're dancing. It's fun. You just see a different side of them. So I think that's one that is very special. I don't think Vitality in Motion is going anywhere based on resident approval.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you mentioned this earlier, that you never want to have an activity where only a couple of people are there. I mean, obviously, when anything is ever new, it always grows and grows. Activities with regards to exercise are always really big. And I'm glad to see that, because all too often, as someone ages, it's very easy for them to just sit and not move anymore.
Exactly.
And that's not good for the body. A body in motion stays in motion, right? So the other part of it, though, is many times if they have an injury or an illness that has them in a chair or they're in a bed, they feel that they can't take part in it. And that's not the case at all.
It absolutely is not. So that's kind of where my job and our activities assistants kind of come in and encourage that and let them know, like, we've got plenty of things we do. So every morning, 9:30 a.m., we do morning exercises on our own. So the only day we don't is Wednesday, obviously, with Vitality. But we have different activities that we will do that just different range of motion. We kind of mimic what Vitality does on a little bit smaller scale, but it's just to let them know, like, no matter what, we're going to keep you going and moving, and you don't have to stay sedentary. We're here to get your heart pumping, get you smiling, moving about. And so that's kind of where we come in and encourage that and let them know, like, some people might be fearful if they've come in after a fall. We let them know that, like, that portion that we provide them kind of goes hand in hand with their therapy. You know, it's just another strengthening measure that we have in place to get your confidence back and, you know, get you moving and feeling like yourself again.
Well, Marissa, you never want anybody to feel left out.
Never.
You know, you don't want to think of someone sitting on the sidelines wanting to be in the game, right? And just like chomping at the bit to say, put me in, coach. It's the same thing of, come on over here. Any good trainer would, from a personal training standpoint, or a wellness director, knows, let's make sure that we can do modifications, and then let's level up. I used to personal train seniors, and it was one of my favorite points of my career. And I would listen to them, and it was fun to give a 1 pound weight to this one lady, and then all of a sudden it was like a few weeks later, and I gave her a 3 pound, and she goes, "Oh, darling!" And I said, "What?" And she's like, "Where's that 1 pound?" I said, "Over there. We're not touching that." And she's like, "Oh, I can't do 3." And I'm like, "Of course not." And she's like, "You think I can do 3?" I said, "I do, but do you? We got to do this together." And here she was lifting a 3 pound weight. It's the coolest thing to allow someone to see just what they can do, right?
And help them develop that mindset that you are capable of so much more. And again, getting that confidence back with them. It makes me think of one activity I've tried to do since coming on is like, I call it like a continuous activity. So when I first came on, we got some flower pots and we painted and decorated those. The next week, we created little flower pot pals that would hang on there. Then they painted those, and now we're potting and planting in those. So it's just like letting them build and see. And again, we meet them like if we need assistance here and there, but like those continuous activities, they're seeing all of this go through a completion process, and that redefines purpose for them. And they're seeing what they're doing literally come to life when the plants start to grow.
The evolution of what it can become.
Exactly.
Right?
So.
That's a journey of life, of whatever we're doing. Are we stuck? Are we stopping here? Or is there still more momentum that it needs? So I mentioned the fun side, and we always want that laughter.
Yes.
We know that things can get hard. There's illnesses, and it's not all puppies and rainbows. We get that, but we want to not keep them there, stuck.
Yes.
It's to find the happiness. And again, I always knew that they love music. It's fun. Even if someone's coming to play the piano, you guys have a gorgeous piano there. I also think the TikTok things that are happening are so cool. And again, people do their comments about social media, but I love the fact that it now pulls so many generations together. We see grandmas that have millions of followers that are on TikTok, etc. But have you been involved in any of these TikToks yet?
I was very fortunate to get to be involved in a couple of them when y'all were over. One of them was the one with our little firefighter sign, which was absolutely hilarious. And our resident, I mean, she just so organically just knew exactly what she needed to do to just add that spice to that video. But it is so fun. And you touched on like the intergenerational part of things.
Yes.
It keeps them youthful. It lets them remind themselves of who they've always been and once were. So I think the TikToks have been a great success for us.
They've been hilarious. The one she's talking about, it was the fact that, hey, we're looking for nurses, and she had nurses, and then she dropped the card and it said hot firefighters. And they're like, no, nurses. And then that little side wink of, okay, yeah, sure. The one that I thought was absolutely hilarious was the one with the noodles,
Yes.
right? So it was all about the trust factor. Do we trust each other? And they had these little red Solo cups that they were knocking off the heads, which was just so fun. Trying to get them to understand what a TikTok is, though. Do they?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a learning curve. I think it's more video. They get the aspect of them being videotaped, but I don't necessarily know if they understand TikTok to its entirety. But that kind of plays into activities. We're going to start doing more like tech-friendly ones where we're teaching how to use phones and tablets and keeping them up with tech, because tech is the future. So if we can keep them confident in that, like, we're going to teach it to them.
Well, I think the thing that's fun is also, grandma and grandpa are there, or mom or dad are there, and then the kids come and visit. And the kids are able to go, look, you're on TikTok. Oh, what's that? Right?
Exactly.
What does TikTok mean? What did you say, TikTok?
But that's a good connection, though,
Yes.
too, for those kids to see grandma and grandpa doing that. And that's so fun to show them, and that just connecting them even further.
Well, because you never know what video is going to go viral.
Exactly.
And then suddenly they can have their own accounts, and then all of a sudden grandma and grandpa are more popular. They're like, wait a minute,
heck?
look at you. You're an influencer. So yes, we're doing some fun things, by the way, with Garden View Care Centers. We're going to be going to different locations. We did our mobile Monica from the location down in Chesterfield. We're going to be showcasing Fallon. We'll be showcasing Doherty Ferry as well. But yeah, the dance one. I forgot about that one. There's also the dance hour that they did at Garden View. So we're going to be kind of sprinkling these in throughout the show as we talk about all the different levels of activities that they're able to do. We have to do a new one. I just realized that we haven't done one in a little bit because it's, TikTok, you got to get out there.
Yes, you got to keep
constantly.
going.
Yes. So by the way, if you have an idea of something that we can do at Garden View Care Centers with TikTok, Instagram, etc., let us know, because I think they would love to see that. But you guys are very creative and you are coming up with some fun ones. So don't think that's us. They're coming to us going, hey, we've got some TikTok ideas. And do you have a favorite between the three we've done? So we did, again, the one where they drop the sign and they're looking for hot firefighters. We did the one with the pool noodles. And then I forgot that we did the dancing one, which, of course, I think between that and the hot firefighters is probably my favorite, but I love to dance so much. So that, I believe, was the first one that we did, right?
was.
The dancing. Do you have a favorite?
I would say, so the hot firefighter one is just hilarious for me, and I love that. But the one with the solo cups and the trust exercise, it encompassed so many of our residents and staff that it really just shows the heart and community within Garden View. So I think that one just hits the closest to home for
Yes,
me. So.
absolutely. And again, you always wonder, are they going to be up for this? this. But I think it's fun also because we're not just seeing the residents, we're seeing the residents with the faculty doing the dance, doing the activity, whatever, taking them out of the comfort zone. They're not really sure what is it that we're getting involved with. Come on, that one's hilarious. Look at the little movement of the hips. It's so very cool. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about, this is the fun you see, by the way. And so when you think of a nursing home, assisted living, again, whatever level of care, you probably don't have that in your mind. And that's why I've been trying to get this message out that this is what it is. And so the touring aspect is so very important. There are too many people that wait until the last second, and then suddenly they're like, I can't get in anywhere. And you just have to take the tour. Again, whether it's Chesterfield or O'Fallon or Doherty Ferry that makes the most sense for you, take your family through, take them on a tour, and then they put their name on a list, right? And then if it comes up that their name's on the list and you call them, they're not ready, they just stay on that list, right?
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely encourage anybody to come by, schedule that tour and see it. It's not a scary place. It's such a happy place. It's vibrant. Talk to residents while you're going through. But I absolutely encourage, like you said, before it gets to a point of necessity, but just to kind of feel out and see if it feels like a place you could call home. Because I think we've got a lot of people who have that passion and love and will take excellent care.
Well, and Marissa, you're right. Talk to the residents because there's no greater voice than those that are living there, that are experiencing it. Talk to the residents, talk to the family that's up there visiting, talk to the faculty, and why do they love this? What keeps them? Because again, it's that very individualized care. You could even talk to that turtle that was just crawling if you want to. What do they love about living in the outside of it? Okay, before we wrap up the show, I want you to think of this. So we're going to take our final break here, and then we'll come back and tell you about some things that are on tap tomorrow. Really exciting, exclusive worldwide music video that we're going to be showcasing, debuting on the show. So we'll tell you about that coming up in just a second. So think about this. What are you not doing right now at Garden View from an activity standpoint that you would like to? Okay, what kind of really fun ideas are you bringing to the table and hoping that's what's coming for your residents? Okay, we'll have more with Marissa Rivet when we return.
Okay.
You guys, are we ready to raise some big money tonight? $25,000. And $25,000 right here. It's yours for $2,100. Nipple. Whoa. And that is how it's done. $75,000. $75,000 that quick.
Monica Adams is smart, disciplined, polished, and extraordinary.
She comes with enthusiasm.
This is what I love. Whenever we are bidding, it is always to see who you get to be involved with.
It is a great time. It is equally entertaining as it is advantageous for fundraising.
Get ready to scream your heads off because this is going to be a lot of fun.
She brings so much energy and so much passion, and she's a delight to have as part of our IWA family.
Start the bidding at $1,000 and we'll go from there. $1,500, $15,000, $3,000. Yes, there we go. Yours for $4,500. Sir, if you will also give me $4,500, you can also go. And there's $9,000. There it is! $9,000 right like that.
She is so engaging and energetic, and she brings calm to any event she's part of.
I so appreciate the teamwork. After 5 seconds, I feel like we're best friends. I can tell she is a team player and she really wants to advocate for the organization.
Truly, you have the most incredible energy. And of my 15 years of auctioneering, you are one of my favorites.
I hired Monica Adams because she is full of energy. She always comes prepared, and she's a real Monica Adams. One of the things that I love about Monica is her ability to put a room very quickly at ease. She also is a very passionate individual, which comes across really well on stage, also one-on-one with her. She can set a crowd at ease so quickly. She has a very spunky personality and such a go-get-em attitude. I really look up to her in a lot of ways.
Monica, I really love the way you run this auction. I really did. You give every opportunity in the world, and then it's all.
It's off the plate.
Please consider Monica Adams as your auctioneer.
Unbelievable.
To hire Monica Adams as your auctioneer, Email info@therealmonicaadams.com.
Yeah, and if you don't know, I do a lot of auctioneering over the last 15 years. I would love to help out with your organization, your charity, or if you've got a business where you'd like for me to come and talk. We do motivational speaking as well. Just shoot me a message there. info@therealmonicaadams.com. Welcome back. Marissa Rivet is my guest from Garden View Care Centers. The Chesterfield location is where she is, but these activities are all throughout all of their campuses, O'Fallon, Chesterfield, and Doherty Ferry. So during the break, I gave you some time to think about. The great thing is that everyone has an open mind, that you all come to the table and it's listening, that maybe you tried something before, maybe it didn't work, and maybe it's reimagined and you bring it back in a different way. What are you seeing that might be on the horizon for activities?
So something I think that we've very much been talking about is kind of connecting the intergenerational groups of people. So having children come in, maybe do some reading groups of such, or even starting a pen pal type program where we can really get the youth coming in and learning and hearing the experiences of these wonderful residents who've lived these fulfilled, beautiful lives, but then also for them to kind of get to see what the kids are doing these days and talk to them. So kind of connecting the two, I think, is going to be something really special.
It's important because most kids will hear pen pal. What the heck's a pen pal, right? They pick up a phone or they text, you might email, but that was the only form of communication. Exactly. And the love stories that, again, all you have to do is just sit down, let them start to tell you about their memories. And then they start talking about how friendships formed simply by a letter, how much we used to love going to the mailbox to get a letter. Right now it's just a bunch of bills.
Exactly.
But yeah, I like that, bringing that back. Okay, and then we also were discussing technology. Don't let them feel like they're not a part of this ever-growing technical world that we have. So we mentioned the TikTok and Instagram pages. Get them involved, right? I know so many seniors that have their phones and they're like, oh, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Look at you. You're hip, right? Don't let them feel left out.
Let them be a part of it.
Yes, absolutely. This is exciting. Again, so the activities, any fun field trips coming up?
So I think we're definitely going to stick with the holiday lights this winter time, but we've got some kind of fun surprises. I don't want to give too much away. We got some fun surprises coming this fall that I think is going to also encompass all of our other locations again.
I love that. When you do the holiday lights, where do you take them?
So there's a few different places. It kind of depends. I know we've done the one over in Eureka. I believe we've gone over into one in St. Peter's as well. So it kind of depends on if we're going to get all of our garden views together or if it'll be more of a solo just for Chesterfield to get it that time. So we haven't worked that out just yet.
Well, and we're blessed, by the way, with a lot of really amazing ones. I haven't been to the one across the river at Gateway International Raceway, which I hear is really beautiful. Haven't been to that yet, but yeah, maybe give them ideas. You can come in and say, "Oh, you got to take them." You should probably think about taking them through Candy Cane Lane.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh, that'd be wonderful.
Yep.
Maybe stop at Ted Drew's over there.
Yeah,
too.
oh, they would love that. You know that. Who doesn't love ice cream and holiday lights? Well, Marissa, thank you. I'm excited for the passion that you're bringing to the table, and again, the really beautiful blend of ideas that they're all saying, we should do this, we should do this. And that's what's coming for you and for your loved ones. Again, one more time, it's gardenviewcares.com. 3 locations, the campus in Chesterfield where Marissa is, as well as O'Fallon, Missouri, and then Doherty Ferry. gardenviewcares.com. All right. Before we wrap up, when we come back, we're going to talk about something really exciting. Todd Tanner Michaels has been on the show before, but tomorrow he is giving us the opportunity for an exclusive worldwide debut of his music video. We get to show it first, and then it's going to show up on YouTube. So we're really, really thrilled. Todd, thank you for trusting us with this amazing debut. Can't wait for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Monica. All right, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. Hope you're having a great morning. We're thrilled to have you along with us. Remember to share our shows all over your platform so more and more people can see the inspiration and the hope and the positivity that we are so excited for an exclusive worldwide debut of a new music video called Risk Everything by Todd Tanner Michaels. And it'll be right here on the Real Monica Adams Show, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern Time this Friday. Where can you find our show? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the socials. Search for The Real Monica Adams Show. We are proud to have the exclusive worldwide debut, Risk Everything, this Friday. Don't miss it. We are so excited. Welcome back to the show. All right, that's tomorrow. Sorry, there was a little hiccup in that. It actually was showing that I was off the air, but I kept looking over at my phone. I'm like, no, we're still on. I'm glad you were able to see that entire interview with Marissa. And wasn't that fun? TikToks and Jazz at the Bistro and Cardinals games. And yeah, that's the thing, that when you are making a decision of getting to transfer from your home and thinking, who can take care of me? We absolutely love them. They did an amazing job with my mom, and it's something to think about. So take that tour again of Garden View and pick the one that works for you. So as I mentioned, tomorrow we are super, super excited to show you a world debut of a new music video. Todd Michaels was actually on our show about a year and a half or so ago when he was in town, and his passion for his music is everything for his heart and soul. And so he asked, Monica, I would like to debut that on your show tomorrow morning. Would you like to do that? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So that'll be in tomorrow's show. We're also just going to have some fun together. Maybe we'll cook a little something up. I haven't had a chance to do fitness with you in a while, so let's make it a fitness Friday. Maybe we'll do a little fashion and do a little food together, but we'll do it from my home. So I'll welcome you into the home tomorrow, and then we get a chance to do some music. All right, devotional. Today I'm going to choose Jesus Calling. This is Enjoying Peace in His Presence from Sarah Young, and we are at June 18th. We haven't officially started summer yet, even though it feels like it. You are my beloved child. I chose you before the foundation of the world to walk with me along paths designed uniquely for you. Concentrate on keeping in step with me instead of trying to anticipate my plans for you. If you trust that my plans are to prosper you and not to harm you, you can relax and enjoy the present moment. Your hope and your future are rooted in heaven, where eternal ecstasy awaits you. Nothing can rob you of your inheritance of unimaginable riches and well-being. Sometimes I grant you glimpses of your glorious future, right? That magic 8-ball, to encourage you and spur you on. But your main focus should be staying close to me. I set the pace in keeping with your needs and my purposes. All right, good one. Always wrapping up with a little devotion. On Tuesdays, we bring in our faith and testimony. It's a Testament Tuesday that we do for you. So what are you doing this weekend? Feel free to drop it in a comment, and maybe something that you're doing is something that someone else wants to do. We're going to a party for a dear friend that I used to personal train in the very beginning of my career. We ran into him at Annie Gunn's down in Chesterfield, and he's like, Monica, you got to come to my big party. So we're going to that tomorrow night, and then my mother and I are going to have an amazing time at the newly renovated Four Seasons. We're going to go get pampered, and I cannot wait to show you the big smile on her face. She so deserves that, does she not? That'll be on Saturday, and then enjoying Father's Day. Of course, I lost my dad when I was 24, but celebrate those powerful and influential men in your life. Again, it's not all about having to purchase something. Maybe it's something you make for him, or it's something you do together, because it's the memories we create, right, that will forever stay in our hearts. So, fathers, thank you for all that you do, the influence that you have. Coming up on June 22nd, on Monday, we are going to be featuring the March of Dimes. Really powerful interview. We're going to have 3 guests on. We will have a physician with WashU. We will have a representative from the March of Dimes, and we will have a lady whose life has been touched by the March of Dimes organization. So that's coming up on Monday with Suzanne, Dr. Blygard, and Christina. And then on Tuesday, how many of you have done your estate planning? It has taken way too long for me and Jim to do it, and I thought this is a really important topic that we have not discussed in the 3.5 years we've been together. So Sean Estep from the Estep Law Firm has graciously said he would join us and help us along that process. So bring all of your questions to the table. What is a trust? What is a will? What is the aspect of elder law? There's so many things that we need to know about and need to be doing. And when we're no longer here, obviously we want to think we have endless days here, but what happens to our family when we're no longer here? Does it go into probate court? You don't want that happening. Trust me on that. So we'll have that coming up for you on Tuesday. Richard, I love it. He said, Dude's Playground would love to host Garden View for a few hours one day. Let's do that. Let's connect you on that. Celebrating my cousin's birthday. All right, Stephanie. My father was a good dad, but I have to say my kids have the best father in the world. I'll call my dad's two brothers. Lost my dad also. Yep. And so look, when they're no longer with us, we just know just how sad it feels in our heart to not have that man in our life. But my brother Brian and my brother Craig, they play that paternal role. So yeah, so definitely celebrate them for sure. So yeah, so some great things coming up, and we've got more on tap for you as well. We have a Foodie Friday. We're bringing back Nick Bogner, Nick is with Indo and Sato and Pavilion. That will be our featured Foodie Friday next week. I didn't want you to think that went away. We just took a little hiatus. We are going to be doing that with Nick, and he was a James Beard finalist, by the way, from St. Louis. So that's on tap for you next week. All right. Enjoy the day. Again, finally the storm's out of the way. Maybe some spotty ones here and there, but I'm looking outside and I can't wait to get out there and walk the dogs. Enjoy your day. Have a wonderful one. And we will celebrate Friday heading into the weekend together tomorrow. Remember to believe in yourself. You can be anything you want to be in life, but the greatest be you can be is kind. God bless you all. We'll see you on Friday.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.